You might legally own your business, but operationally, someone else might hold the keys. A client reached out to me some time ago. She wanted to upgrade the way her business operates online. She had some brilliant ideas. She wanted to update her booking system. She wanted to automatically capture reviews from the clients that she's worked with. She wanted her services to map effortlessly with the bookings page. The ideas were good. The business was ready. But I asked a simple question: how do you access your website? And she couldn't answer. The website was built some time ago. She was paying for it on a monthly basis, but she did not have access to her website environment. That's what I mean when I say you may not fully own your business. Because if the tools that your business depends on is not controlled by you, or you do not have access to it, or it is tied up with old contractors or former employees, then these are parts of your business that you do not fully control yet. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it takes to fully own the systems that your business depends on. And you don't have to be technical to get this right. These are business decisions, not technical ones. So here are the 3 things that we're gonna break down in this video. 1, you need to hold the keys for your business. I'll show you exactly what that means. 2, your business should not depend on any one person. And 3, I will show you how to delegate or how to give access without losing control. Let's get into it. You need to hold the keys, not someone else. I've seen it many times in different scenarios. Business owners desire to make important system changes. Their desire to expand and expound on the different services and features that they have. They have brilliant ideas, but their system is not in their control. They need to ask permission. They need to contact an old employee that set up this particular account or set up this particular feature. They need to reach out to an old contractor that no longer is in their business, but still has access or still has control on certain aspects of their systems. And what this does is it hinders your business operation. Your business cannot grow in the scale and in the way that you want it to grow if someone else is holding the keys. So when I say to hold the keys, not someone else, I'm referring to your accounts, your login details. Every account or every login detail should belong to your business. It should be under your domain. If you're business.com, you should have an account for app1@business.com or app3@business.com. Whatever it is, your key accounts, your login details, it is attached to the business. It belongs to the business and not someone else. Particularly not on any personal account that's not your account. I've seen environments where employees set up systems on their personal account, on their personal email, and they have critical business operations going through a personal account. If that employee leaves or the employee is not available or the employee is not able to make any changes or access the system, the business is at a standstill. The business cannot move forward because these accounts do not belong to the business. They belong to someone else. So every account and login should belong to the business. Then you need to ensure that your critical systems are not tied to former employees, contractors, or vendors. You'll be surprised. I have seen several businesses that there was an account tied into an employee that is no longer there. They set it up 2 years ago and 3 years ago. If they remove the account, or if they disable the account, or if they change the password, this particular tool will no longer work. I've seen it several times. So ensure that your systems are not tied to former employees or contractors or vendors, but again, it belongs to your company, it belongs to your business. The key takeaway is this: you can't scale what you don't control. And I don't mean control in a possessive sense. I mean control as in you have a clear understanding of where your systems are, who has access to it, and what it would take to make the necessary changes on your system. So you can't scale what you don't control. Now, moving on to our second point is everything works without any one person. So what do I mean by that? I have seen environments that When an individual goes on leave, for instance, the business stops. And I'm not talking about the owner, I'm talking about the business owner. I'm talking about a staff member, an employee, somebody working in that environment. When the person goes on a 2-week leave, that process is on complete halt for that 2-week period, right? That is you not having control of your business. Right now, your business is depending on that individual or that team or that group. And if your business cannot move forward, then you're losing sales. You're losing opportunities. You're not able to serve your clients because everything works around that one person or that particular individual. So the fix is this. Your knowledge lives inside the business, not in an individual's head. It lives inside the business. What do I mean by that? I mean, you document, you ensure that your critical systems and processes is documented so that anyone that jumps in, they can utilize those systems and they can utilize the information that's there. And that's why you need to write it down. Write down how your core tools work. And when I say write it down, I don't necessarily mean pen and paper, but you document it, you put it in a centralized repository so that other persons, that your team members can take a look at it and can be able to operate from it, right? Let's look at, for instance, fast food restaurants or fast food chains. KFC, for instance, they have a system in place and every person that is operating is following that particular system. When one staff leaves a shift and another staff comes in and follow, they just continue the same system. They continue the same flow. So everything does not depend on one person. If one person goes on sick, one person leaves, etc., when someone else comes in, the process continues. So again, everything works without any one person. The system is in place, the knowledge base is in place so that anyone can jump in and can work on your business environment. And that is what allows you to have control of your business. The key takeaway is this: a business that depends on one person can't grow past them. If your business depends on only one individual, or by extension, one team, you cannot grow. You cannot continue to expand. You cannot continue to serve your clients in the capacity that you want. Because if that team member is not there, or if that team is no longer available, then the business stops. And that's not what you want. That is not you having control of your business operations. And our third point is this: you can hand it off without losing control. You can delegate and you can give responsibility of business operations to anyone in your company and not lose control. Delegate the work, but keep ownership. So again, your accounts, your login details and your information, it belongs to the business. It is under the business domain. It is in a centralized repository that the business has access to, but you have persons executing the task, executing the work, actually doing the implementation. That is all fine and good. So you delegate the work, but you keep the ownership. At the end of the project, the task, the implementation, the system, the setup, it is yours. It belongs to you. And it does not belong to any single person. It doesn't belong to any single employee or any single vendor. It is your business and it is your operation, right? And by doing that, you stay accountable for the outcome. So you know exactly how this is supposed to work, or you know exactly how this is supposed to, or the result of that particular system or that particular operation should be. Again, you don't have to know the technical aspects, word for word or every single details of the system, but you know that this is the outcome that should come out of that particular situation, that particular system, right? So you remain accountable. You own your operations. The key takeaway is this: real ownership lets you let go and stay in control. I have seen several environments where the business owner, the person that is running the business, is not in control of that particular system. They have absolutely no idea what is going on that particular system. And that is a dangerous place to be, because if you want to grow, if you want to expand, if you want to change, if you want to take a strategic approach, then you may not be able to, because that system operation is not yours. It belongs to someone else. So this week, I want you to ask yourself this question. If the person who set up whichever system disappeared tomorrow, would you still fully control it? Would you be able to say, okay, this is where we go to get this information, to get these login details, to be able to execute, so that this outcome that I am accountable for will still result in the same way? If that individual that set it up leaves today or tomorrow, would you still be in control? Ask yourself that question this week and go through your systems. Start with the most important system this week. It could be your files, it could be your email, it could be whatever platform that you're operating from. Start with it and ask yourself that question. If the answer is, hey, this individual, this person disappears tomorrow, I'll have no clue how to go about continuing this operation, then it could well be that they hold the keys and you don't. When I set up systems for clients, I ensure that all of their systems, their accounts and their login details belong to them. I can be the one that implemented it, I can be the one that set it up, but at the end of the day, it is their system and they are the one that is in control. If you'd like for us to take a look at your environment, book a free IT assessment below. It is completely free, takes about 20 minutes or less, and we can walk you through exactly the state of your IT environment today. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe for more practical business technology advice. If you would like to know the biggest gap that causes most businesses to fail and how to fix it, check out this video next.